Strategy, as we've talked about from the beginning of the course, is about choice, but it's rarely about a single choice. It's rarely the case that a single big bet is all that matters for a company's strategy. So if you think back to the first article that we read in the course from Michael Porter about what is strategy, there's a very good quote in there. The success of a strategy depends on doing many things well, not just a few, and integrating among them. If there is no fit among activities, there is no distinctive strategy and little sustainability. So the key insight in this quote is that, again, it's rarely a single big bet, a single choice that makes or breaks a company, but rather a set of choices around target customer, market, product, and so forth that mutually reinforce one another to either increase willingness to pay, cut costs, or to keep competitors from replicating a company's strategy. Because if they just copy a single choice, it's not enough. They would have to copy this entire mutually reinforcing bundle of choices. So it turns out in the strategy field, there are many different frameworks for visualizing or integrating the choices that a company makes. So some of you will have seen the value chain, which looks at the activities in an organization, starting from inbound logistics through manufacturing, if it's a manufacturing firm, service and distribution. So that's one way to visualize and consolidate the choices that a company's made. Another way that we've seen in an earlier article is around an activity map. So it shows kind of key activities that a company undertakes, in this case IKEA, and how they interact with one another to, again, increase willingness to pay or cut costs. And there are many more frameworks like this, but basically all of these frameworks are in essence doing the same thing. They're helping you to consolidate, to plot, and to see the interdependencies among the choices that a firm has made. One framework that I've found particularly useful and that we're going to use a few times throughout the course is known as the who, what, how framework. And so basically this framework works quite well for focused companies like a Trader Joe's or a Ryanair or a Netflix. It doesn't work very well for diversified companies, say like Disney, that's in theme parks and video and merchandise. But for focused firms, it works quite well. And basically what it does is looks at three buckets of choices. Who are our target customers? What is our value proposition to them? And how are we going to deliver our value proposition? So what we'll do, and we'll do this a couple of times throughout the course, is we'll use this very simple framework to help structure our thinking and visualize both the choices that a company's made, but the interdependencies between them. So again, the first big question we ask is, who is our target customer, right? Again, you don't want to be everything to everyone. So what customers do we want? Which customers do we not want? Are they price conscious? So there are a set of supporting questions that help you to refine and clarify who your target customer is. Then the second big question we ask is, what is our value proposition? Value proposition sounds like a buzzword, but it actually has a very precise meaning, which is, what is the proposition, the offer we're making to our target customer that they value? That either increases their willingness to pay or that we value because we can serve them less expensively, that we can cut our costs. Okay, so the value proposition is what's in it for them as the customer, and that could, by the way, be low price, which we can still make money on if we have low costs. So the key thing about value proposition is, don't think about it in terms of features of your product. Think about it in terms of benefits for the consumer. So identify the target consumer, put yourself in their shoes, and think about what's in it for them. What's the value proposition to them? And then the third component is, how can we deliver on our value proposition? And this is a bit more of a catch-all, but it's a very useful category as well. And this question, when you kind of break it down to its supporting questions, are things like, what are the capabilities we need to build in order to deliver on our value proposition? What are the resources we need to invest in? How are we going to fund our investments? What choices can we make that can protect the position that we've made initially? So this framework, very simple: who is our target customer? What is our value proposition? How can we deliver on our value proposition? Can be a useful tool for consolidating and seeing the interdependencies and capturing in a single picture the key choices that drive a company's strategy.